Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today's interview is going to be such a great conversation because I'm here with my dear friend Raimonda Jan, all the way from London, UK. And we are going to talk about entrepreneurship. And I'm really excited to have you on the show, my dear. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Lenka. I mean, it's such a pleasure to be part of your event and here to inspire your audience today.
It is always so like mind blowing to me when I get to interview people I actually look up to, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, they are talking to me. This is like, wow. But that makes me realize like what we are, we attract more of it, right? So if I attract these wonderful speakers to this show, that means I'm part of that community, I'm part of that vibe, right? And the same goes for our viewers. So if you are watching this show, if you are enjoying this show, if you felt called to participate in this show and in our Facebook group, that means that you already vibrate on that level with us. So all you have to do is just step in, take that leap of faith, and join us in our entrepreneurship. And that's what I'll talk about today with you, my dear. So tell me, I know, well, let me read your bio real quick to our viewers, or your introduction. It says Raimonda is a founder of Women in Business Club. It's international community and events, and she is a serial entrepreneur, meaning she has more than one business strategist, mentor, and she's helping women grow their visibility, authority, and become the go-to influencer in their field. So, my dear, I want to know, were you always an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, or did you have another career prior to that?
Yeah, that's a great question because I've been through obviously journey of having a job and also pursuing different career routes, but really entrepreneurship was something that I had started really early. So it was only 2021 when I first started to think about starting my own business. And back then I was still at university. So, where a lot of my peers were pursuing work placements and going into jobs, I decided, well, what I wanted to do was to start my own business. And I know it wasn't very conventional and it was a bit bold, but that's what I did at 21. And really, ever since, I have pursued my own business ideas, entrepreneurial ideas. It has helped me grow. In the process, I also take on a role of a mentor. So I worked quite a long time in funding. So I helped a lot of tech companies get funded, raise money, and help them structure their businesses. But this was as a result of me working with my mentor, who also taught me on how to structure businesses and business plans and raise money, which I struggled in my own business at the start. So he really helped me to learn all the ins and outs. So yes, over the last just over 10 years, I have had several businesses
Mhm.
and continue to really pursue this entrepreneurial journey, which I have certainly chosen intentionally.
Now, do you find it easy to be a businesswoman these days, or is it fun? Is it like cool thing to do, or is it difficult for you? Like, where do you stand on that? Is there a lot of obstacles that you have to deal with every day, or do you find it like, oh, it's just like a walk in the park?
Well, I guess I don't know what to compare it to because
Hmm.
I have always been my own boss. So for me, it's natural. And I know a lot of people struggle with working from home or having that motivation. And for me, this has always been a constant that I have got used to and accustomed to. Now, I'm not saying entrepreneurship is easy. Snap your fingers and something happens. I think we as business owners have to put in a lot more time and dedication and sacrifices in order to make our businesses work. So, for certainly, it's not an easy route to success, which I think it takes a little bit more work. But I love the journey. And I think what it has helped me to do is grow as a person.
Yeah.
I think that's the most rewarding part of being an entrepreneur, that you get to grow personally as a result of it.
Yeah, I think the most challenging thing for people who are coming from their professional careers from, like, let's say corporate, right? They come in and they want to start their own thing. The most challenging would be when you have a job, there is a structure. There is somebody who tells you when you're going to show up, when you're going to leave, how much work you need to do, how that result needs to look. And they're telling you, like, this is, if you do this job this way, that's how you get paid, right? With entrepreneurship you have to create it yourself, so it's like, you have to have that, and then on top of it you have to have that self discipline to
Yeah.
really execute that and hold yourself accountable to
Oh yeah.
creating that income. So that's what's most challenging. Where did you learn these skills?
Oh my goodness, it's such an interesting topic that you brought up, and one that I perhaps never had the opportunity to talk about. I certainly, when I was starting my first business, I certainly felt that struggle. And I felt like, do I know what I'm doing here? Because I have to create my own structure. I have to create my own systems and processes and figure out how this is going to run. And since I took a leap straight from university into entrepreneurship, I didn't have the experience to, to work with if I have had a job prior to that. So I certainly struggled with that. And I thought, well, I had to really just learn and figure it out and do it my way.
Yeah.
And, when I started to take on team members, they certainly helped me put structures in place, because you can't run a team if you don't have systems and structures and principles and things like that. And they each have brought their own ways of doing things. So I think
Mhm.
collectively it has really evolved, but it's not easy when you're starting out. So you definitely want to have a little bit of experience in at least the basics of, accounts and filing and figuring out how to run a business. So yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. So what do you think is like the most enjoyable part of being an entrepreneur? What do you like the most about it?
For me, it's the creativity,
Mm-hmm.
the freedom and creativity, which you wouldn't necessarily get if you were in, let's say, in a full-time job, because there are restrictions or and processes that you have to follow, protocols. And let's say, even when I did have a job, and I was working for actually one of the top 100 companies to work for in the UK, I felt that restriction to, where they wouldn't want to hear your ideas, or they wouldn't let you implement new things that would help the business, because this is how it has been done over the years. So I guess when you're an entrepreneur, the biggest thrill that I have is I come up with an idea and I can execute it right away. And I don't need to ask anyone, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes my team have to keep up with me because I'm like, okay, we're doing this. um, and I see, because I am innately entrepreneurial type,
Yeah.
I'm not the kind of person that wants to run a business and do it day to day. I
Mm-hmm.
thrive on creativity. So I need to come up with projects and deadlines and things to keep it exciting. And I simulate it in my own business so I don't get bored and stagnant in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so glad you brought it up because another thing that we are running into, and when I speak to other entrepreneurs, when I coach women who are starting businesses, is people are afraid that they are going to like fall into that trap of being a workaholic. Like it's never gonna stop, right? It's never going to, like, I'll be so consumed because it's just me and I have to work all of that. So I'm glad you brought up that you have a team and the team brought in the structure and all that stuff. And now you get to be the creative force behind it, but the team gets to execute it. So that's wonderful. Nobody needs to worry about being burnt out. It's all about how you set it up and how you set yourself up and you set the boundaries, like the work life balance kind of thing, right? So how do you balance your business with your life? Do you work like certain days in of the week and then you have certain days off, or how do you, or is it like however it comes, you just take time off, or how does that work for you?
Well, I'm driven by really my passion for my business. So I really do enjoy it. And I feel like the entrepreneurial hat really defines me. Whereas
Mhm.
some people might be doing this just for the money or for different reasons. We pursue businesses for different reasons. I really enjoy that. I actually relax when I sit down to write a blog post or create content. I enjoy it. So for me, it's not so much I need to step away from it. There are times when you have to step away and do self-care and
Yeah,
get a fresh perspective, because I believe when you step away from your business, you're able to still think, you're able to come up with fresh ideas that perhaps you wouldn't if you sat down to actually come up with ideas, right?
yeah,
So I definitely have sacred time with my family, and times on the weekends like Sundays, and me and my partner have agreed that Mondays I wouldn't have any calls, and we would dedicate Mondays to spending time together and do things that we enjoy. So in that sense, I'm very lucky that I'm able to manage my own diary
yeah,
and figure out when the time is needed for me to step away and take a break.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's just a kind of figure out what works for you.
Yes, definitely. I totally get it. Like I for myself, it's Sunday. I take Sundays off, so I don't work on Sundays, and that's non-negotiable. So I had to do that because otherwise I would be working all the time. I know my mentor, for example, she set it up that she works really hard Monday through Thursday, and then she has Friday, Saturday, Sunday with her family, and nothing will step into that. Right? Nothing will break that agreement that she has with herself. So however, that's the beauty of it. Like we get to create it, we get to say, right, how it's gonna look like. And um what I was going to ask is, if somebody was thinking about getting started in the business, like maybe they are they are transferring from like corporate, from job situation to business situation, or maybe they had a business offline, and now they're trying to recreate it, pivot, and move it online. What would be like top three tips for those guys, from someone as seasoned as you, as experienced as you? What would be the first three things that you would want them to know?
Yeah, of course. I think the first thing is figuring out why you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the purpose of why you want to do it is so important. It's so important for you in order for you to stay motivated, to have that vision and the goal of why you're trying to, whether you're jumping ship from being in a career and starting your own business, or you're simply just starting out from scratch. I see a lot of people starting business for the wrong reason. So it's got to be for the right reason that you want to start, and who do you want to serve and how. So I think that's really important, because that will keep you motivated and
Yeah.
keeping you going. I guess two is mindset, confidence, and really self belief. I think to start any business, you need a lot of self belief
Mm-hmm.
and belief in your idea. And I always say this: entrepreneurs are dream sellers,
Yeah.
because we have to convince the world of something that not yet exists. So our belief has to be so strong that we see in our mind and we see it as it's already happened,
Mm-hmm.
right? And convince the world of that thing.
Yeah.
Because if you don't believe to that extent in your idea, in your project, in your business, in yourself, then the world will continue to doubt it, and people will doubt you. When you start out, there will be people thinking, well, is it going to work? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There will be naysayers. There will be people who will criticize you and, perhaps not support your choices. But if you believe it and you're able to continue walking that path, because I've been there, right, where my family questioned what I'm doing,
Yeah.
until I was so convinced and I got it done. And then when I showed results, they all, oh, right, okay, now we see where this is going. But before then, they didn't see my vision, right? I had to find a way to communicate and sell my dream, even to my partner, to my fiance. I had to communicate that vision. Even at start, he was doubting until I started to show him results. And he's like, wow, it's unbelievable. I'm like, well, yeah, because I can already see it in my mind's eye.
Mhm.
So I guess that's the second thing. And three, get support around your business as soon as you can. You can't do it all by yourself. As soon as I decided to start Women in Business Club, everything I had, I literally put it into hiring the right team, having the right resources, building the brand, because I knew I can't get by with my own created logo or my own created website, right? So if you have those resources, put it towards your business and get that help and support, whether it's mentoring, that will help you avoid mistakes that a
Mhm.
lot of early entrepreneurs make, and that will save you a lot of time and money. Right? Or just experts in what they're doing. Again, because if you're going to try and figure out all by yourself, you're going to make mistakes and it's going to take you double the time that it would if you got help on it.
Yeah.
So
Thank
just
you.
invest in your business as soon as you can.
That is really smart. I would like to speak into that vision, into that is a, my dad. I can totally relate to what you said because my dad actually literally sat me down and he was like, "Listen, you went to school for this and that. You are a teacher by trade. Like this is what you're going to be doing." You know? It's like you have no business sense. That's what he said. You are like you're not meant for business. Like I was just like sitting there feeling this small, but luckily he lives in the Czech Republic. I live in the United States. And I was like, as soon as I was back home in LA, I was like, oh, like he's not here. Like I can do what I want. It's like I'm doing this. And now I'm so glad that I stuck to it because it would be so easy to walk away from it back then. Like, oh, my family is not supportive. People are not believing in me. Who is to believe in me if not my own
Mm,
family? So yeah, but with that, like if you just, like you said, stick to it and you are committed to your dream, it's gonna come. And for you, it's a community of beautiful women who are around you. You've created such a beautiful business serving women. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
yeah, well, I've always felt just the same experience like you know, I had people who were doubting or
Mm.
on not on that journey with me, and it started to feel really lonely trying to convince the world
Yeah.
my vision exists. So at some point in my career, I decided I need to surround myself with more people like that. I want to feel inspired. I want to know that other people do the incredible things that I want to do. I want to learn from them. And I want to have that cheerleader squad around me that, we can rely on, because your friends isn't always going to like your posts or share your content or, provide the right advice that sometimes you just need. So this is when I started networking online with female entrepreneurs, and the Women in Business started as a bit of a passion project to bring female entrepreneurs together. And I was surprised that so many other women felt the same way. They felt the same pull and the same need to have that community around them. And I believe that is the women around me who helped me create this platform, because without them, there is no community. So although it was my vision and perhaps my passion project, now it's all of us coming together to do amazing things like have fantastic events and networking, and the members club that we have now is because of these women who needed this platform and needed the help and support, and I've just been able to um, facilitate that and bring it all together. So I'm really excited about, you know, more impact that we can make together, because I think it's needed.
Yes, yes. And what I am coming across, because as we are building these communities on social media, most time right now, like during COVID especially, but even before then, um, I'm blown away by how nice people are in those communities, how giving, how generous, how loving, how ready to help and support. And it's just like every time I communicate with, and I'm in many of these groups on Facebook, and I ran one. And it's like coming home. It's like coming to a family. It really feels really supportive and nice and sweet. So if anyone here watching would like to join Raimonda's group, we'll leave the link, or actually share it in our group, but we'll also leave the link for you in your email, so you can just click and be taken directly to her group. And yeah, connect and network and love on people. So, with that said, I would like to ask Raimonda. We are in a very generous mode here on this show, and every speaker, every expert is bringing a gift to our audience.
Mm.
What is your gift?
Well, I've hosted a workshop on the subject of how to grow and scale our businesses.
Oh,
And I created an ebook that basically contains a lot of the things that I teach, from the very basics like mindset and systems to perhaps a little bit more advanced things that we need in order to build that foundation for our businesses, and then how to grow it and scale it. So these are I think there are 10 tips on how to grow and scale your business. It's a mini ebook. I say mini ebooks, it's like a mini book. This is perhaps one of my most valuable books that I have written for our community members. So, yes, the attendees of this event will get this ebook for free.
wonderful. And how needed, right? Because everybody who's watching right now just wants to jump in and get started. So this will be your guide. This will be your first steps to creating that beautiful entrepreneurial life online. So thank you so much for your time, Raimonda, today. I know it's evening where you're at. I know it's cold and it's winter, and you probably just want to snuggle up, have something great to drink, and just relax. So thank you for your time, for sharing your wisdom with us and your experience. It was very inspiring, and I believe everybody who is watching today has like that calming feeling right now, like I can do this, right?
Yeah,
It's possible for me, and I get to dream big, and my vision is real, and I get to go for it. So at least that's what I'm taking away from our conversation. So thank you.
absolutely. You're most welcome. And I just want to encourage ladies to, just go for it. Don't let any fear hold you back. Pursue your vision. Have that dedication for yourself, because there's certainly a huge bliss and, uh, you know, contentment at the end of the rainbow of your pursuit, and you will grow and you will learn. And I was just a girl just like you, watching this right now, didn't just had a dream and just decided to do it. So just encourage you all ladies to go for it and pursue your dreams.
Thank you. And we'll leave you with that, my dears, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.
Thank you.